It's the Shop Dog Sam here on the east coast of Arkansas, a beating and a banging out yonder in the backyard shop. We getting her done. The episode that we're going to do today is questions and answers. Just kind of, if you have left a comment, I've been taking notes. And if I missed a comment that you left, relieve it, and we'll try to answer it again. One of the comments is how to adjust this air intake mechanism. And let's just talk about two-cycle, two-stroke engines in general. The crankcase, in order for it to operate at its best, should be airtight in all places. One of the places it's overlooked is this governor adjusting or inspection hole. That's the only purpose that serves. That is not to take off and put oil down in there. That's just not what that's for. That's only for a governor adjustment. Just so happened that when we set this engine up, I say we, when I set this engine up, it came out to be almost right on it. I like for them to run a little bit less RPMs. What is it? 1650, I believe, is what the book says on this. This one was a little bit shy. I would have liked for it to have been quite a bit shy, but the way it was, I just left it there. You do put some, and I use gasoil, if you remember, thread sealer on that thread. If you have an air leak right there, then your engine is not going to function as good as it could. These engines right here are the most forgiving of all two-cycle engines you will encounter. A basic two-cycle operation. It don't get no more simpler than this. It is not a hit and miss engine. It is a throttle governor engine. True throttle governor. Just look it up in the blueprint and you will understand how it works. And what I'm talking, the way to adjust this air cap here, if you remember when I ran this outside the other day, right there was where the cap, that's where this engine ran at its best at. The run is over, it's not straight up and down, and you want that to be straight up and down. Now, I'm going to hold this air, the big part of the air tube, I'm going to hold that steadfast, and I'm going to turn the cap. I'll show you something. When I turn the cap to close it, okay, it's closed now. In order to start the engine, you would open it up about a quarter of a turn, which would be right there. When the engine actually ran at the better, when it warmed up a little bit, it ran better right there. So that's the, and what you do is that big old nut right back in there, and there's a lot of threads on there, there's a lot of adjustment on that, and it don't matter if you put it down here at the bottom or up there at the top. You want to put it kind of mid-range so you've got some adjustment for later. So, and I do have that loose. I did put some thread compound. Well, I'm just going to take it off of there. There ain't no need not to show you. But you see, I put that there thread sealer in yonder, and I got it's on yonder. Okay. And it don't hurt to take that off because I'm maintaining the position where I want it to be at. Another thing, too, is when you put that air tube into that block right there, it is of most importance that you put some thread sealer around that. I think Maytag probably used something like a shellac compound. You'll find it on a lot of their, if you take some old original engines apart, it appears to be a shellac compound. But anyways, you put the thread sealer down there and then set that tight. This here got the thread sealer on it, and if you have an air leak down there or an air leak up here, the only thing that would influence is how much you open the air cap. If you had an air leak at the bottom down here, if you're leaking air in yonder, then when you when you close this off, it's possible to get enough air in there to keep the engine still running. So if all of this is set airtight, then this adjustment out here will be true from now on. So this start was over to the side like that, in this position. And I want it to be straight up so that I'll know the next time I run the engine, I just set it straight up and it's good to go. And you can have a little adjustment either way, and it's not out of hand, it's normal. And that's where that was at. So I'm going to set that straight up, right there. And I'm going to tighten up this nut in the back, just hand tight for the time being, to show you what we're talking about. That's where I want it to be at. So to prove the fact is, if you turn it off, and I'm holding this steadfast so it don't turn. I've not locked it down as of yet. And then when I get ready to start the engine, I would turn that up on start, which is just about a quarter of a turn or a little bit more. And after it starts and runs just a little bit, then I would turn it to where that's straight up. And you know, you could get you a cup of coffee at that point. You're running. So and then when you turn this engine here in particular, this one operates that way. It's in the book. Read the book, it's in there. To stop the engine, you would open this up. I'm holding the airtight. You open that up to where that it does not have any suction on the fuel jet. When it has no suction there, it will burn out whatever vapors that was in the engine, and it will quit running. At that point, you would close this back up so that no varmints don't get in there, and you're good to go until the next time wash day. Now to set that to lock that in, I want that to be down a little bit more. And you can move this at any time you want to by maintaining where it was at. So I moved the whole thing then, but it was too far out on that standpipe. So I moved it down. We'll lock it in now. Your trusty old adjustable wrench. Just kind of go easy at it now. Don't be chipping your paint off nowhere or another. And lock that in good and tight, because that you don't need to move that no more. That's adjusted. Okay. Now we got that done. Okay, to go through that again, and you say, well, you're going to do it again. Yes, I'm going to do it again because we're locked down. We're ready. We're finished with this. So what you would do is, up on start, turn the flywheel a couple times. She's off and going. Then turn it up on run, and you're ready to go. Now you say, how come you don't start it up? Well, I have already drained the gas out of the fuel tank. It's clean. I drained all of the mixed gas out. I put a clean white lint-free cloth into the gas tank, and it's perfectly dry in there. It's as clean as I can get it. While we're here in the gas cap department, this is a 1937 gas cap. It don't have one of them little things on it. Y'all see that little thing there? That's the later model, and that would go down in the tank, and it gets crossways down in there, and then you can't lose your cap. Well, you would not want to use this on a 1937 because it wouldn't be correct year model. This right here this don't have too good a thread on it there, but it's better to use this with a kind of weak thread than to use that one and it not be the right year model. It is quite important that you have a gasket on this cap for the simple reason, if you got no gasket there, the gas is going to come out and it'll make the paint come off. You want your gasoline to be in the tank Another thing too is the little vent hole in there. That's quite important. Is that little air vent hole? Whatever you do, do not enlarge that. Do not enlarge that air vent hole. There's just no reason to do it. And if you do it, you are inviting a gas leak, because these engines right here, when it's running, they vibrate, and when they vibrate, the gas will come up there and it will make a little wet spot right there. So you want to maintain that size hole in the vent. Yeah, we're going to continue this in the next episode.